All right, so I start off this solo with a classic Cliff Gallup double stop lick. Um, and this is one of those situations where I have a pedal tone up here on the top in the double stop lick. So that G is kind of ringing throughout. Next, I use some of this open string concepts. So I'm doing a pull off that I stole from Jeff's Boogie, a Jeff Beck tune that he played with the Yardbirds. But I think he stole it from Cliff Gallup. So basically, I'm replacing all these E's that I would normally play here with the open string, which is the whole open string concept. Okay, so that gets me down to this low root, and then I get back into double stop world, using some octave displacement on the double stops, kind of jumping back and forth with a call and response on the double stops. And then I'm chromatically connecting my double stops to a new position up here in C for that chord change. So now when I get to C, I'm doing a lot of the same licks, or at least kind of in the same world. Looks a lot like this one. But now I'm playing over C, so it sounds different. The context is different. And I kind of stick in double stop world again because I want that raunchy kind of power for a rock and roll tune. I don't want to do too much single line stuff. Then I drop back. I'm still in C, and I use some of my boogie concepts. So I'm going to use that piano roll that we talk about in C, and I'm kind of visualizing that C triad and kind of sweeping back, and then we're back to G, and now we're going to use some of the open string drones. So I'm walking diatonically on two strings in the key of G with a little chromatic passing tone in between, but using that open string drone that we talk about. And I could do that on the next set of two strings because the B fits into the G chord, so that works. So walking through diatonically, remember we talked about those in the concepts, that's a highway that can connect you to different positions on the guitar to move diatonically across. So that gets me up here in this new position. And then I'm using some of my blues scale stuff up there. Then I'm going to visualize that D chord, and I'm going to embellish this D chord by walking into it from a minor third below. So each one of those notes of the D chord, I'm chromatically approaching from minor third below. Okay, that's how I kind of embellished that chord change and outlined them. I jump up with an octave here, and I walk down our diminished scale. So remember, D is acting as a dominant chord here. It's the chord that's leading back to the one, so I can get away with all those alterations that we talked about earlier. So I can use a whole tone scale, I can use a diminished scale, I can use 2/5s, whatever. In this case, I'm using a diminished scale. And I'm walking down that diminished scale till I land on G, and then just walking right down to G major scale with double strokes. Little chromatic passing tone there to get me back to that low G. All right, let's move on to our next study.